introduce our very special guest tonight. And this is Jena. Jena Bagley. She's the advocate manager at Aweber, which, as you know, because I've been talking about Aweber all week, it's a leading email service provider and the very first autoresponder, which I did not know. Jena works closely with content creators, podcasters, social media strategists, and enthusiasts, coaches, entrepreneurs, and more. She has worked in multiple industries over her career, including restaurant, bridal, real estate, recruiting, direct sales, and with Aweber Software as a Service. She has acquired a wealth of knowledge about sales, marketing, and what it means to build relationships with your target audience. Through email marketing, you can connect with your audience and drive them back to your blog or website, podcasts, and social platforms over and over again, keeping you, and this is important, top of mind. Not sure where to begin? Well, tonight you're in for a treat. Jena talks strategy, how to quickly launch your email marketing, and how simple it is through Aweber's email solution. She will also give you the 3 steps you need to take right away to get your email marketing on track and build and grow your business. Without further ado, welcome, Jena Bagley.
Hello. Hi. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm really excited to be here and teach you about email.
Thank you.
All right. Should we just jump right in?
Let's jump right in.
All right. Great. Can you see my screen?
We cannot yet. Let's see. Hold on. Here it comes.
All right, there it is. All right, so we are going to talk tonight about how to quickly launch your email strategy, which is super important for everyone, no matter which industry you're in, whether you're doing this as a side hustle or as your full-time job. We're going to talk about why email is so important. And email marketing is amazing because it drives more conversions than any other marketing channel, according to Monetate. And the DMA says that email pays for itself 38 times over. So you really don't need to worry about wasting your investment or spending money because the ROI is going to be so strong with email, and it essentially pays for itself. And a lot of people say to me, Jena, I can't afford email marketing, but hopefully through this this workshop, you're going to decide that you can't live without and you can't afford not to do email marketing. So this is me. This is my contact information. You're more than welcome to reach out to me with any questions. There's my email. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram. But I'm the advocate manager for Aweber, as Bill introduced, and I'm really here to help you with any questions that you have about email and specifically Aweber. It's an amazingly powerfully yet simple platform to use. I'm going to show you some examples throughout our workshop here tonight. Okay, so my number one goal tonight is to help you learn how to kill your email marketing game and get the results that you are hoping to get in your business. And hopefully you'll have some questions that I can answer. If there's anything you're confused about, let me know, shout it out. You can always reach out to me after the workshop as well. And I want to be real and transparent with you. I'm sure a lot of webinars or workshops that you've been through, there's a really long surprise pitch at the end. I'm not going to give you any surprises. We are going to talk a little bit about Aweber and how you can use it to implement the strategies that I'm going to share with you tonight. So just in full transparency, here's your offer. It's a free 30-day trial of Aweber. You can go right to this, this link here, gig-economics.aweber.com, to find out more information about Aweber, and we'll talk a little bit more at the end. Okay, so let's get right into our workshop takeaways and what you're going to learn at this workshop. So first, you're going to learn how to grow your email list quickly so you can connect with a bigger audience. That's what we all want to do at the end of the day. We want to connect with more people, and we want to not only connect with them, but connect them to our product or our service. I'm going to show you how to easily automate 3 emails that is going to save you tons of time on repetitive marketing tasks. Everyone likes to do things, effectively and efficiently, so I'm going to show you some shortcuts. And I'm going to show you how to create engaging emails that your subscribers are going to want to open, click, and ultimately buy. And finally, I'm going to show you some examples along the way of some really successful marketers and show you some real life examples. So let's get to it. In the workshop, we're going to talk about 3 problems that we see within people's email strategy. So the first problem is that you have a boring sign-up form, or worse yet, you don't have one, or you have one that's hidden. Here's an example of a boring sign-up form. Sure, it's got the headline, it's got name, it's got email. It's certainly not the worst example that I could show you, but there's definitely room for improvement. It doesn't give people a real reason why they should sign up for the list. People are very, very cautious nowadays of who they give their email address to. So you want to make sure it's compelling. Today, I'm going to show you some examples of compelling sign-up forms that are going to help you grow your list quickly. So step 1 in our 3-step plan is going to be create a sign-up form that converts. And if you're chatting, let me know, do you currently have a sign-up form on your website? So here's an example of a form that's a little bit more interesting. It's offering you free content in exchange for joining their mailing list. And it also explains the benefits of joining that list. And the secret to a form that's going to convert is a lead magnet or a freebie. So this is going to have a massive impact on your conversion rate. Having a sign-up form that simply says, join my list it's not going to be good enough in 2020. I'm going to give you guys a tip. People don't want to join your email list. They want to get value and they want to learn something new. So a lot of people might be saying, well, I don't have time to create a lead magnet or give away free content. And a simple way that you could do this is by providing great content that you've already created. And it doesn't have to be overly complicated. It can be something that you already have in your arsenal. It could be something very simple, but it provides value and it entices people to join your list. So here's an example of a lead magnet, which is value or free content in exchange for their email. It could be a discount on your services, a free add-on service, a blog post, an ebook, a checklist, a PDF. It doesn't have to be massively complicated. So in this example, Tara's Healthy Eats, she has simply curated her top 10 most requested recipes. She's put it on a nice PDF that's easily downloadable, saves her audience time, and it's valuable. And your sign-up form should be easy to find. You don't want to make it hard for your visitors. If someone visits your website or your blog or your landing page or wherever, if they don't engage with you or they don't buy from you, you could potentially lose them forever, which is why it's so important that you capture their email address so that you can connect with them again and again. I'm going to show you 3 different sign-up forms that are going to help you grow your list quickly. So first up, we have a homepage form. So this is going to be on your homepage, your main page of your website. And in this example, it's right smack in the middle of the page. You can't miss it. She is offering a very short email course in exchange for an email address. Another example on the homepage would be here at the bottom. So instead of it being right front and center, it's at the bottom, but it's still very visually appealing. It tells them what to expect, how often they're going to get emails. So you could take that approach as well. Another example would be a sidebar form. So this one is from the site Well Plated, and you can easily add a sign-up form into your WordPress site, for example, using the Aweber for WordPress plugin. We try to make things super easy for you. So that is definitely an option that you would have. And we have a pop-up form. So this is something that pops up in front of the content. This one is an example from Magnolia Market, and they're an e-commerce site, and they're offering a 15% discount in exchange for the email. Now, this one, you either enter your email or you hit no thanks, but you have to do something before you get to the content. And it's going to be very easy to create a sign-up form inside Aweber. We give you tons of templates that you can add your branding to, your colors, your logo, your personality. But we also have other options. So maybe you don't have a website or you don't have a strong web presence. You can use our landing page builder. And that is going to give you a page with one clear message or one call to action. You can't navigate to all these different pages. It's going to be, just that one idea. Maybe it's to sign up for your list. Maybe it's a call to action button driving somewhere else. But you could do unlimited landing pages within Aweber. It's going to automatically integrate with your email list and make it super seamless. So what happens with a landing page is that you can share that link to the page on all of your social media or your blog. So take Facebook, for example. You could turn your Facebook fans and followers or your Twitter followers into email subscribers by sharing the landing page link. Very simple. So here's an example of a landing page. This one is promoting their newsletter. So you can see the sign up form here. And like I said, it could be a call to action button to wherever you want, but it should be one message on your landing page. You don't want to distract your potential subscribers. You want them to complete the task that is your call to action on your page. With the landing page builder inside of Aweber, you don't need coding or technical skills. So a lot of people say to me, I haven't started doing email, or I haven't started a landing page because I don't know how to do it. And we help you within Aweber do that. So again, you don't need to have any technical skills. It's a simple drag and drop builder where you can add your images, your logos, your text, and customize. We also give you a ton of different templates where you can kind of take a jumping off point and customize it to your branding and your personality. As I mentioned, you don't need to have a website. So if you don't have a web presence, a landing page would be a great solution for you. And as I mentioned, it also seamlessly integrates with your Aweber account. So when someone completes the sign up form, it's going to go right to your email list. This is going to help you grow your email list quickly. And the best part, it's free with every Aweber account.
That's pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. We're super excited about that. Problem number 2 that we see is that you don't have a welcome series, or if you do, it's not great. And subscribers are going to be the most engaged when they very first join your list. So you want to make sure that you are setting the tone, the expectations, and you're capitalizing on that excitement from your new subscribers. So step 2 in our plan is you're going to create a welcome series. And if you're doing email already, that's awesome. But are you doing a welcome series? Tell me in the chat if you're live, and let me know if you have an automated welcome series already in your strategy. So if you don't know, a welcome series it's basically an email or a group of emails that will automatically send to your subscribers when they join your list. So this is going to save you a ton of time. It's going to set the tone. It's going to also set you up for long-term email engagement. Okay, so first you're going to create your welcome email, and it's going to be your first email that you send. Well, let me back up. It's technically going to be the second email you send, because if you're doing email marketing right, you should be sending a confirmed opt-in message, making sure that your subscribers do want to hear from you. But this is the first email that they're going to get when they join your list. And these are so important because we see welcome emails with the highest open rates, typically the highest click-through rates. As I mentioned, your subscribers are going to be most excited when they first join your list. And here at Aweber, welcome emails have such a huge impact for us. We see open rates of above 93% and click-through rates of above 50%, which is an amazing open and click-through rate. So what should you write in your welcome email? You might be asking. There's 5 key things that I'm going to suggest that you include in your welcome email. So first and foremost, if you were promising a lead magnet or a freebie in exchange for that email address, please make sure that you deliver that incentive right away. Email marketing is a long-term game. It's about building a relationship and building trust over time. And if you promise something and didn't deliver, you're breaking that trust from the start, and it's going to be really hard to regain that. So make sure you include that. Number 2, you want to ask your subscribers to whitelist. It could be something as simple as saying, hey, add me to your contact list. Number 3, this is important.
Jenna, can I stop you right there? I wanted to
Absolutely.
add in something to number 2. You in your campaigns feature have like a set of pre-made emails. One of those emails already has an instructional thing on that shows people how to whitelist. So you can just copy and paste that or leave it as is and take the stuff out and put your own message in there. But it's already made for you. So that's kind of a neat feature.
Yeah, and like I said, we try to do a lot of the work for you. So Bill, you're exactly right. We have great templates that we've already created messaging with a lot of these things in there. You just kind of plug and play your own content, your personalization in there as well.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I really like it. You've done a lot of really cool things over the last year or so.
We really have. Our mission over this year is to do 90% of the work for you so that you can do the parts of the business that you really enjoy and that you went into business for. So we have a lot of cool things that are happening. So stay tuned on that.
Cool.
Number 3, you want to set expectations. And this is really important. You want to let your subscribers know what kind of content are they going to be expecting in their inbox? How frequently are you going to be sending emails? And if you remember in the sign-up form, you should be setting those expectations there, but also remind them in the welcome email. And just a quick note on cadence of how often. That's really going to be dictated by how much content and relevant information you have to share. So if you publish content more frequently, your emails might be more frequent. If you don't publish content on a regular basis, it might be a little further apart. There's no science exactly of how often you should email. It really depends on you, your bandwidth, and your content. But with that being said, you want to make sure that you are setting those expectations so that they know, okay, I'm going to get an email every day or every week or every month. And make sure you stick to it. If you say I'm going to send an email every week and then you start sending them every day, that subscriber is getting more than they signed up for. Just like if you say I'm going to send you an email every week and you only send one a month or every other month, that subscriber is going to start to forget about you. So be consistent in whatever cadence you select. Okay, number 4, you want to introduce yourself. You want to share about you, your mission, your why, how you can help them. Make sure you make it about them. And you want to focus on what they're hoping to get out of being on your list. So, asking them for content ideas is totally okay. And you're going to see an example of that in a minute. Make sure that personality is in there though, because they were attracted to you, your brand, your products, your services, and you want to make sure that shines through. And finally, build excitement. You want to be excited to write the emails and you want them to be excited to read the emails. So make sure that you add a little bit of excitement in there as well. Okay, so here's a great example. This email is from Ann Hanley. She writes a bi-monthly newsletter called Total Anarchy. And this is an awesome example of how she has covered all the bases in a really succinct and easy to follow way. So first, she describes the frequency of the emails and what kind of content that they're going to receive. Secondly, she gets people to engage. Okay, this is important. Email should be a conversation. You want people to be engaged and reply back to you. But she asks people to email her and say what they're hoping to get out of the newsletter. Third, and we kind of touched upon this, she is giving, she's talking about deliverability and giving instructions on how to make sure that her emails reach the primary inbox, which is great. And as we mentioned, we include that in our templates as well. And finally, she gives her top posts at the bottom out. She's giving free value right away. This is great because when someone opens this, they know, okay, cool, like I'm going to get something out of this email. And so she's curated her top 5 posts of all time. She's hyperlinked the text. So they know exactly what they're going to go to when they click on the link. You should always hyperlink your text instead of putting straight links in your emails. That's an email best practice. Another great example is from Nomadic Matt. He is in the travel business. He wants to get to know his readers right from the start. So you can see in the blue text, these are links. He's asking, what travel destinations are you interested in? And he asks for you to select your top 1. And what this does is it's going to segment his readers based on where they want to go. So he's not going to send information that's not relevant. When you're sending uber targeted relevant content, you're going to get higher open rates, higher click-through rates. So if someone says that they're going to the Caribbean, he's not going to send information on Australia and vice versa. So your welcome email is a really great opportunity to get to know your readers and send them information that they're interested in the future. Okay, so what else should you put in your welcome series? Well, you want to make sure that you're sharing so much great content that they never want to unsubscribe from your list. A great example would be your most frequently asked questions. So be proactive and put that information right in your first email so that they don't have to come to you to ask questions. You've already covered it for them. And I mentioned it's really easy to create your welcome series. Bill kind of alluded to this, but we do offer tons of free templates for lead magnets, blogs, mini courses, other welcome series. And what we've done is it's either a 2 or 3 message series. And we've already put in some content in there that you can personalize. It also has wait times in between the email, so it's not sending right in a row. It kind of scatters it a couple days apart from each other. So this is a really great feature that you're going to find inside Aweber. We've kind of done almost all of the work for you. You just click one of these templates and put in your own information. Okay, problem number 3. Subscribers receive emails infrequently, and when they do, they're only sales emails. So I'm here to tell you, don't be spammy, okay? It's okay to offer your sales, offer your products, but you want to make sure that you have built that relationship. You are building that trust, as we mentioned in the beginning, and that when the timing is right, you can ask for that sale because you've done all the work. They know you, they like you, they trust you. When the timing's right or their pain point is so high that they need what you have, they're going to come back to you. They're going to go back to their inbox and they're going to say, oh, I needed this. Let me go back to my email. They're going to see you in the inbox. You're going to be top of mind. So remember, this is all about creating a relationship. You want to be consistent and you want your subscribers to remember you. So step 3 in our plan is you're going to send a valuable newsletter. And this is something you send on a regular basis. We've talked a little bit about cadence and how often you should send, but you want to make sure it's helpful to your audience. And email newsletters are huge right now. So many profitable businesses are built around the newsletter. Some examples would be Morning Brew, Finemize, The Skim. So I want to show you an example from one of them, The Skim. And they have millions of email subscribers. And this is a daily newsletter that shares the latest news in a fun, accessible way. It's solving a few problems for their subscribers. It saves them time. They don't need to scour the internet to find out what's happening. The most important news is delivered right to their inbox. It's educating subscribers on topics that are important to them. It's funny. Their entire business is built on this daily newsletter. They have a huge team. They make most of their revenue through this daily newsletter. Another example is the Morning Brew. They have over 1 million subscribers. But I want to tell you, whether you have 1 subscriber or 1 million, you can implement these same tactics and strategies into your business and into your email newsletter. So we met Ann Hanley a little bit ago. She's the Chief Content Officer at Marketing Profs. In 2017, she only sent 4 newsletters. And she realized that she missed talking directly to her audience on a regular basis. So that's when she knew it was time to kind of take things with a different approach. She wanted something she was really excited about, and she wanted something that her subscribers would be excited to open. So in January 2018, she unveiled Total Anarchy, which was her newsletter. It was unlike any email she had sent before, and it gets insanely high opens and clicks. And I'm going to show you, again, some of the same strategies and tactics that she uses that you can implement. So real quick before we do that, why are newsletters so important? So it's going to keep your subscribers engaged. Regular content, consistent, you're driving your business back to them over and over again. You're connecting with them over and over again. It's going to drive traffic to your website or your blog, your podcast, your course, your e-commerce site, wherever you want, your social media. And it's going to help you sell your product or service. So both the Skim and the Morning Brew, they make most of their revenue through their newsletter and links to their own products and also sponsored affiliate products within the newsletter. And a really good email gets people's attention. If your subscribers love it, they're going to recommend it to their friends. And then those friends will subscribe and then potentially buy from you. And it's just going to grow your list and your network of people. So where do I get content? You might be asking. Well, I'm here to tell you, you don't need to write 1,000 word blog posts, okay? So everyone can clap and relax. I'm going to show you some easy ways and things that you can include in your newsletter. I want to make sure that you include any kind of content that helps your audience, because at the end of the day, your subscribers join your list not to join and get more emails and get flooded with emails in their inbox. They join because they wanted some sort of value or they wanted to learn something from you. So think outside the box, but keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Anything that's valuable helps your customer can be included or promoted inside your email newsletter. So here's an example from Gary Vee. He had a viral, what of his isn't viral, but he had a viral Instagram post, and he simply included a screenshot in his email newsletter, added a little bit of commentary, and he's driving people back to his Instagram post. Another example is a Q&A. So you could include some questions and answers in here. So if someone asks you a question that you think would be helpful to the rest of your audience, include it in your email newsletter. That way they're getting the benefit of that information as well. Maybe they didn't even know they had that question. So super helpful. It could be as simple as a quote of the day. Everybody needs some positive vibes and thoughts nowadays. So include a quote or a photo with a quote, some inspiration. It could be what you're reading. It could be what you're watching on Netflix. It could be your favorite products. It could be anything. And you could give a little bit of a commentary or a review. Tell them why you liked it, why you didn't like it, and then ask them what they're reading or what they're watching and get them to engage back with you. Now you could do a single post newsletter. So maybe you don't create a lot of content on a regular basis. You could send a single post newsletter. This is an example from Enchanting Marketing. And this promotes Henneke, who's the coach, her most recent blog post. She's only promoting one blog post. Now, some might have a bunch of content, but in this one, because she publishes less frequently, she takes this approach. So she tells a personal story at the beginning of the email to draw people in. She then ties it back to her blog post. So you can also use stories to write captivating email content. People are much more interested in stories than boring marketing or sales jargon, right? So make sure you add some stories and personality into your emails. Here's a digest newsletter. So if you have a lot more content, or you have content that you publish more frequently, or you have a blog with a ton of already written content, you could consider sending a newsletter with links to a bunch of different things. Maybe you have a YouTube channel and you want to share one of your videos. You could also add that in here as well. So what if I don't create my own content? Well, you might be sitting here thinking like, oh gosh, like I don't create on a regular basis. So how in the world am I going to send a regular newsletter? And I want you to try curation. This is a simple way to send a newsletter quickly. And it's basically just sharing valuable content that was created by other people or things from around the web that is helpful to your customers. So remember the skim? That's exactly what they do. Almost all their content in their newsletter was created by other people outside of their organization. But it's still providing a huge service to the audience because it's finding and gathering and saving them time and finding all the important information that they need. Okay, so I gave you a 3-step plan. Just to real quick summarize. Number 1, you want to create a sign-up form or a landing page. Number 2, you want a welcome series. And number 3, you want to send a valuable newsletter. So now that I've given you that, here is the offer. You get 30 days free of Aweber with every one of our features, and also 24/7 US-based customer solutions that will help you to get started. And you can go to gig-economics.aweber.com for more information. The first month is free, and then it's $19 a month after that for up to 500 subscribers. And then we also have quarterly and annual discounts as well. And one more time, that link is gig-economics.aweber.com. You can sign up for your free 30-day trial there. You can get more information there. You can reach out to us with any questions. And at this point, I'll open it up if anyone has any questions that you want to ask. And it looks like the link is also in the chat for you.
Yeah, Jena, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Okay, that was great. I wanted to know if you had any suggestions on, say, best practices for writing subject lines.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm going to say 2 things about that. Number 1 is make sure your subject line is relevant. I hate when I see those kind of like clickbait kind of subject lines. You want to make sure it's appealing, but you also don't want to be clever and try to trick your subscriber into opening the email message. Because remember, we talked about trust and the relationship building. So you want to make sure it's relevant to the message inside. But if you have created a strong enough relationship over time, your subject line is not going to matter. At the end of the day, they're going to open that email because of that relationship and that trust that you've built. So your loyal subscribers, they're going to open that email no matter what it says, but definitely try to keep it relevant, short and sweet. You can include emojis. You can include their name. We do have a really great blog post article on our website about subject lines. So definitely check out blog.aweber.com, and that blog post is there as well. But, keep it simple. You don't have to be super clever. It should relate back to whatever message they're going to find inside. And also use your pre-header text as well. So that's another opportunity for you to get content into the inbox without them opening. So that's another area where you can include what else the email has in store. So for example, like I sent an email newsletter a couple weeks ago that got a great open rate. It says, "I thought you would like this, ... And then the pre-header text says, and 50% off these items. And it got a really great open rate. So, over time, you're going to see your open rates begin to increase, especially if you are providing that value that we talked about over time.
Okay, great. Zane, did you have a question?
Oh, well, I just wanted to make sure that that my microphone was on, and it is on. Awesome. Great presentation, by the way.
Yeah. It does sound like you're in a tunnel, though.
Oh, okay. Is this any better if I lean forward?
Not really.
Nope. Okay, I'm just gonna.
Yeah,
I'll figure it out. Oh, it's better?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I just need to mash my face nice and close. Great presentation, by the way, and great follow up. I just wanted to see, in your experience, was there anything that you would say, okay, this is what you should definitely stay away from? Maybe something to that effect.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but if you're constantly asking for them to do something for you, they're going to lose interest and they're going to either stop opening your emails or they're just going to unsubscribe. And unsubscribes are not a bad thing. I will say a lot of people get hung up on the number of subscribers that they have, or when they get an unsubscribe, they take it personally. People unsubscribing is actually okay, because you want to make sure that you're sending emails to people that want to hear from you. Going back to something that you probably shouldn't do is send add people to your email list that didn't opt in.
All right, cool.
So email marketing is going to be much more successful for you if you're sending to people that have opted in, given their permission for you to email them. So Aweber, we're a permission-based platform. So everyone either opted in through purchasing your product or service, or by completing a sign-up form. So I get a lot of questions from people saying, "Oh, I went to a vendor event or a conference and I got a stack of business cards. Can I add them in onto my email list?" And what I'll say about that is, if the intention of them giving you their business card was to join your email list, then that's fine. But if that was not explicit, then I would hold off from adding them to your list, maybe reaching out to them personally and saying like, "Hey, here's my landing page, here's my sign up form, here's my website." So you don't want to just mass add people that didn't sign up or aren't expecting to be on your newsletter list.
Gotcha. That was a good. Yeah, that's great.
I'm going to be using that a ton now that everything's starting to open back up, and in-person events are going to start becoming a thing again. I wish I had this 6 months ago, which probably was there, but I didn't know about it. So
yeah, absolutely. So the great thing about email is that it should work alongside your other strategies. So you don't want to put all your focus on one and nothing else. So you can build your email subscriber list through your YouTube channel, just like you can send your subscribers back to YouTube to increase your following there. Just like maybe with Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, you can drive people to become followers on your social, and then you can take your social followers and drive them to email. So all of those things should be working together. You should have an email sign-up form on all of your platforms, on your website, on your landing page, on your social, like on your blog, anywhere that you're talking to your audience. You should give them a chance to sign up for your email list. And in your email list, you should give, or your email newsletter, you should give them a way to follow you on social, on YouTube, on all of those platforms. So
imagine how huge your list would be by now.
And that's how you're going to be most successful.
And I think in your templates, especially your drag and drop ones, they've got like the social piece where you can just drop it in your newsletter, and then you just configure it and you're off to the races.
Yeah, so we have that element in both our email editor, and we also have it in our landing page editor. So you just simply drag and drop the social element into there, and you connect it to your handles. But you can also share your YouTube or Vimeo links into your email newsletter. Now, it's not going to play right from your email. It's simply going to be like a linked thumbnail that will take them to your YouTube. But email is great because it can drive your subscribers anywhere you want them to go. So if it's social, you have those icons at the bottom. If it's YouTube or Vimeo, you can add that element right into your email newsletter, and it links right to your YouTube or Vimeo hosted video. And if you're a podcaster, we have a great mobile app where you can actually share your podcast through our mobile app, and it will play the podcast right through the email. So that's a really cool feature.
Oh, you'll have to tell me more about that.
Yeah, definitely send me an email, and I'll
and so
send you some information.
Jena and I will have a conversation, and then I'll share it with you guys, because that's pretty cool. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Get closer. Get closer. Well, I think Jena said you could set it up so that your podcast plays through the email you send. Did I get that right?
Yes, you can do that through our mobile app. So we have 3 mobile apps. One is a stats app where you can basically see your open rates and your click-through rates of your most recently sent broadcast. We have an Atom app, which is essentially like your sign-up form on your tablet or your smartphone. So if you're doing in-person events, instead of them writing down or scribbling their information, they can go right on the smartphone and put in their email address. It goes right to your email list.
All right, Bill. Now, this is the kind of stuff that I was talking about before.
You can even create a tag
traditional
that says,
marketing,
so say I'm
email marketing stuff, but
at an in-person event, and we'll just call it, Convention A. So I can even add a tag that says Convention A, and I know that's where I met them, and I can create an automatic campaign or welcome series that says, hey, it was so great meeting you at Convention A, and whatever other information you want to include. But you can do that right from our Atom app. And then our third app is our Curate app, and that's where you can send newsletters in minutes from your phone. And you're basically just curating from
feature that
all over the web. So maybe you want to add a Pinterest pin, or you want to add your podcast, or a blog post. You literally drop and drag it into the app, and you can build yourself a campaign
it's been around
right from your phone. I use that one all the time. Like
techniques are.
When I would pick up my kids from Carline, I'd be in the car and I'd be like, "Oh, I need to send a newsletter," and I could do it in 2 minutes. So those 3 apps are really powerful and awesome. So definitely check those out as well. They're all included with every Aweber account.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's great. I mean, I did meetups for like 10 years, and I didn't know that app existed, and that would have been nice. I would have had, probably a few thousand people added to my list just from that alone. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something I hear all the time from people who are finally doing email marketing, and they say, like, I wish I did this sooner. Why didn't I do this sooner? And so once they get it going, it's like it was a no-brainer. And
No,
this
is
just like you're
actually
saying,
a
I
point
wish I
that
had
we
done
had
this sooner.
like specifically talked
Well,
about.
Don't be
and
one of those people.
why
Start
we're
today.
here today.
And if you
honestly,
are
like,
already doing
we can
email
all
marketing,
talk
but you're
about
not doing
like
a welcome
all the
series, or
money
you're
we
not
could have
doing
made.
a regular
Well,
newsletter,
all right, we're
hopefully
here
you take
now.
this
Bill,
workshop
you tell me
and
right
you
now,
go back
what
and
do you think?
start using that
you said like
in your
I
email
started
marketing,
building
because you
websites
will
at this
see
point, and at this
success
point, just pick
by just
any one of
tweaking
those
some things that you're
websites
doing.
and start at the
I
year
am the poster child
2004.
for
At the year
the guy
2004, pick any
didn't
website
do
in your
email
mind and
marketing
say, okay,
for
had
a
I
really
started
long
email
time,
marketing in
like an
2004,
embarrassingly long time.
what do you think your business
I
would be
started
like in
building websites in
2020,
1996,
knowing Jena's here
and
her awesome email
in
marketing
around
skills?
2001, I got into kind of the e-commerce in its infancy, and then in 2004, I got into blogging. And it wasn't until about 2008 until I started doing email marketing. So that was 12 years gone by. Oh, I know. The only saving grace I have is I was in like a lot of different niches, so I didn't, the list wouldn't have been that big, but there would have been a lot of them.
And subscribers, right? Yeah. 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 That was one of the first discussions we had, which is why this is one of the first episodes that we're having. We already know, Jena knows this is important. If you're not marketing with email, you need to start marketing with email, from the person that's talking to you now. But then if you're watching this video later, yeah, facepalm, you should be doing email marketing.
I think I could be, I mean, we all heard the stat, and Jena probably doesn't want to jump on board because it sounds like an income claim. But, the rule of thumb is $1 a month per subscriber. That's the rule of thumb, and it's a broad stroke, and it's more for some people and it's less for others. But if you were just to take $1 per subscriber per month, I could legitimately have a few 100,000 subscribers on one business. And that's not even really pushing it hard. That's just, here's my email form, fill it out, and if 1 in 10 or even 20 filled it out and signed up, the list would be huge. It would be way huge. Yeah, and it's really, to me, besides your website, it's the only thing you own. Like, you don't own your YouTube subscribers. You don't own your Facebook group members. You don't own anything. Like, if you're a brick and mortar and you're not doing email, your only saving grace really is that you have a database of people who have bought from you, and you could easily turn that into an email subscriber list. However, if you're a digital marketer, and man, the marketplaces sometimes they don't even give you the names of your customers. And if you're an affiliate marketer, you'll never get the names of of the people who buy from you or through you unless you are a little creative and you build like bridge pages and stuff like that with an email, an email sign up form on them. But you can export your list from Aweber. If for whatever reason you wanted to leave or whatever, you can take that anywhere else. And you could do that with most of the other email service providers that I know. You can bring it. And I know Aweber is making it very easy for people to switch from other email service providers to them. They will do a lot of this stuff, all of the migrations for you. And correct me if I'm speaking out of turn here. They'll do a lot of that migration stuff for you.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought that up. I was just about to say that if you are currently using another platform, we will migrate you over to Aweber for free. So that means that we'll import your subscribers, we'll build out your sign-up forms, we'll build out your landing pages if you have one. We will create your campaigns, which is your automated series. So yeah, there's really no reason not to come over to Aweber. Because we make it super easy. Our mission is to make sure that we are offering you a powerfully simple platform. We want to take the complication out of it, and that means helping you migrate over as well. So we have an amazing, when I tell you, truly amazing customer solutions department. They are so dedicated, they are so patient, and they're so smart, and they're just here to help you. Everyone at Aweber, our whole goal is to help you grow your business and to connect or help you connect with more people. So I can't say enough great things about it. I use Aweber personally for myself with my own side gig. And, I just want to say that, there are a lot of cool things that you can do with email. And if you're not doing email, I want you to first focus on those 3 things that I told you. But as you get more comfortable with it, there are super cool things you can do with sequences and automations and tagging and split testing. You asked about subject lines, and you can split test your subject line and a ton of other things. But, maybe you figure out like, hey, this subject line resonated more than this one. And then you want to start doing more of what works and stop doing less of what's not working. And so there's a lot of really awesome features and tools that we have. So definitely go to that link that we provided to get more information. You can sign up for your free trial, risk-free. So yeah, and we're here as a resource. I'm here. Please let us know if you have any questions.
Yeah, so I just want to second what Jena said about the customer service at Aweber, and I'm obviously we have an affiliate link here, but I've been using them since 2008. I love them. I've had nothing but good experiences with them. I don't spam people and I don't get on their bad side. So you gotta take that into consideration because they are a platform too, and they're responsible for, deliverability for everybody else. So if they have a bad apple, they're gonna address it. But having said that, anytime I've had any kind of issues whatsoever, and most of the time it's like a technical question, like how do I do this, or there's a million different things different issues you can run into. They've always been great, and now that they're 24/7 chat, oftentimes I'm working in the middle of the night and I have a question and I can get it answered. So that's incredible. You don't get that from a lot of places.
No, that's definitely something that sets us apart and is a big differentiator for us. And all of our customer solutions team members we're all based out of Pennsylvania. So we recognize a lot of people are small businesses and entrepreneurs and doing this on the side, right? Maybe it's a side hustle or a side gig. We're not working normal 9 to 5 shifts, right? And so when you have a question, you want it answered right away. You don't want to have to wait. You don't want to have to wait till Monday if it's the weekend. We want to help you get the answer right away so that you can continue to connect with your audiences and do the thing that you love to do. So that is definitely a game changer for a lot of people. Not saying you need customer solution 24/7, but when you have a question or you need advice, you know that we're here for you and that you can reach out to us at any time.
Yeah, I mean, I've had other, companies that kind of, are software as a service kind of companies where, yeah, I mean, their customer service is great, but it's not timely, meaning you send an email, 24 hours later, they might get back to you, and then you respond right away, and 24 hours later, you get a response, and it's that back and forth email stuff that just drives people absolutely insane.
You lose 3 or 4 days by the time you get a resolution.
What's that?
Yeah.
So you lose 3 or 4 days by the time you can get a resolution to something sometimes.
Yeah, and I'm not, I'm not an impatient person, but that kind of stuff drives me batty. And when there's a company that you can call or whatever and get it resolved probably on the first touch, that's a breath of fresh air, and that just makes me that makes the whole email marketing piece of the business kind of not be a problem anymore. It's not a concern. It's just, I do what I do. I write my emails, I create campaigns, that kind of thing. I don't have to worry about, not getting support or something going haywire. And if it does go haywire, which, gosh, knock on wood, don't think it ever has. But if it did, I know I could reach out and get resolution. So, I base a lot of my, you may ask why I've been with them 12 years when competitors have come, with supposedly better features and whatnot. It's because they don't fail me. That's really what it is. They don't fail me. They give me what I need, and they don't fail me.
Well, no, I just wanted to jump in because apparently my video froze, but now we're good. Hard to hear? Better now?
You're hard to hear.
Okay, I'm going to mute because the recording of not me is sounding really good.
A little. Okay. So, Jena, I've got a question.
Sure.
I've seen other marketers in their email lists, and I presume that it's in order to try to keep open rates high. Is that right at the top of most of the emails they send, they tend to encourage their subscribers to unsubscribe. Obviously, it's if you don't want to be here, please click the unsubscribe button at the bottom. That type of thing. What's your stance on specifically seeking the unsubscribe? Is that a good thing to do in order to help keep your open rates high and to keep people on your list that want to be there? Or is that something you would steer clear of?
So you have to give them an option to unsubscribe.
Yeah, I just mean specifically calling out, recommending people to unsubscribe.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really a personal choice. As long as there is an option to unsubscribe, I don't think you need to call it out. But again, you also want to make sure that you are sending to the people that want to or continue to want to hear from you. So what I would suggest is, I don't know that I would send that to every single person. I might create a segment of people who haven't engaged with me or haven't opened an email in maybe 6 months. And I would send them a targeted reactivation email saying, hey, do you still want to hear from me? Here's the content that you'll be receiving from me. If it doesn't interest you or no longer interest you, click unsubscribe. It's okay to get unsubscribers. It's okay to clean your list and kind of tidy up the people. It's not how many people you have on your list, it's how engaged they are. So yeah, I would send a very relevant message to the people who are not engaging with you or not active with you. Kind of send them a one last email to say hey, do you want to hear from me? Here's all the stuff you're missing if you unsubscribe, and then, handle it that way.
Okay. So I guess
But
that brings us to the question of email segmentation then.
Mhm.
Are there some key specific email segments that you strongly suggest be set up right from the beginning that you just know every campaign that ever sends is going to benefit from certain segmentation?
I mean, that's really going to depend on your business and your audience. And so if you have two different things going on, so maybe you send a list on this product, but then you also have a coaching series, it might not go to the same people. So you could add tags, and you could add tags based on products that they like. So if you have someone that's bought, let's just take a clothing company, for example. So say you have someone that's bought a blue shirt, right? And you could tag them with blue and send them anything that has blue in it, because you know that they might like that, right? They've already purchased something blue, so chances are they might like something else blue. And that's a very simple example, but
I think there's a lot of power just in that simplicity, though. Getting your messages in front of people that are more likely to want the specific message you're sending is always been a staple.
Yeah, and I'll go back to the example that I showed you in the workshop where Nomadic Matt, he's not going to send you information on Asia if you want to go to Hawaii, or if you're looking to go to New Zealand, he's not going to send you information on, England. So just making sure that you're sending information that's super relevant to them. Another example, and I'm going to go back to clothing, is, if someone wears dressier, maybe they're more career style women, you're not going to send them information necessarily on workout gear. Just like if someone is into workout gear, you might not send them the dresses. So while in your newsletter, you could send them, all that information kind of as a blanket email, you'd want to follow up with really specific messaging. So I'm trying to think of another example, but the more relevant you can be and the more targeted you can be, the better your open rates are. So say you have people on your list and you know that they've bought from you before, you can tag them as customer. And then you can send them a message like I just did one. Thank you so much for being a loyal customer. This is my mission. Let me know how I can help you in any future purchases, or tell a friend, right? But then I can also send a message to anyone that does not have that customer tag. They've never purchased from me. And I can send them a message saying, hey, I want to offer you a $25 coupon to use towards your very first purchase. Let me help you find something that you're going to love. So obviously I'm not going to send that coupon message to people who are already buying from me, right? Because it's for your first purchase only. So by using tags and using segments, I can send relevant emails to them.
So what I would like to do, if this is something you'd be interested in doing, Jena, is a month or two down the road, dig a little deeper into the campaigns, because that's something that I think there's a lot of power there, but with power there comes, issues with screwing things up. But I think it's a very powerful feature that you could take advantage of, that really gets to what you're talking about, and helps you to segment, who is receiving the messages, because most of us, to be honest, we send out one email to everybody. And that's probably not the most effective thing in the world, because you will see that your open rates are pretty low. And it's all relative. I mean, one person's open rates may be 40% and they think that's low. And whereas somebody else might say, well, 5% is my open rate, and that's pretty low. But it depends on how warm your audience is too. But that really goes to what you said at the very beginning, which is, be very specific and about what you're going to give as far as expectations go. And if you offer an incentive, make sure you deliver that. and then keep people engaged. What happens is a lot of times, you'll get somebody on your list, right? And you'll send them a welcome email. And then maybe a month or two later, you send out another email. And that's what a lot of people do. And those people, I'm guilty of that on the other side, where I'm the subscriber. I'll sign up for something. I'll get a couple emails, like maybe even 3 or 4. And then I don't hear from you for a month. Or what really peeves a lot of people, I only hear from you when you have something to offer, like something to sell.
Exactly.
And
Don't be that person.
This is, I'm looking at my bookshelf right now. I think it was Seth Godin who coined the term permission marketing. That's what email marketing is.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody gave you, now it may not seem like a lot, they gave you their email address and maybe their name, in return for something of value. The value doesn't have to just be the incentive, the freebie, the lead magnet, although those are very important. What they really wanted from you was your expertise, your knowledge, sharing information. And, nobody's going to sign up for your newsletter with the expectation that they're not going to learn anything from you. I mean, I don't think people do that. So
no. And I can't tell you how many times I have signed up for people's email lists that not only did I not get the lead magnet, did I not only get a welcome email, I never got an email from them ever. And so that is not in a place where you want to be. You want to make sure that you're collecting email addresses and that you are, communicating with them, because they're going to, if you do eventually send an email, maybe 6 months down the line, that's going to be, I don't know who this person is. I don't remember them. Unsubscribe. So that's a lost opportunity. So make sure that you deliver your incentive. Please, please, please make sure that you send that welcome email and that you're sending on a regular basis so that they don't forget about you.
Yeah. And you said it, I think at the beginning, top of mind, that's kind of the most critical thing in any business is, as a business owner, you have a unique opportunity to present, yourself in the best light. However, you're usually not the only one in your niche or industry or what have you. And the only way that you can stay top of mind, well, I shouldn't say the only way, but a way to stay top of mind is to continuously be in front of people, be on top of, literally be out there all the time. And a lot of people they get lazy. I think that's what this boils down to. They get lazy.
Yeah. And you can set it up so that it does it for you. I mean, you don't have to spend hours and hours and hours doing email marketing. Use the autoresponders, use the campaigns. It's going to save you so much time. And I'm sure we can all think of examples if we were to open up our emails, of times where you needed something and you open your inbox and you were like, there it is. And you made the purchase right there. Like my son, he's 6 years old, skinned both of his knees, jeans, like holes in his knees, like all of his pants have holes in them because he's rough and tumble, right? And I was saying to my husband, like, oh my gosh, like this kid needs clothes. Got my phone, went to my email, and I was like, oh, Carter's, here's a coupon, like done. Place an order right then and there. So that's a great example of how when the timing was right, the need was high. I went back to my email and went right to it and made a purchase and done.
Yeah.
Very easy. Make it easy for your subscribers.
It comes down to you've got to show up. If you're not showing up, you're not getting seen.
Yeah, and speaking of the campaigns and the autoresponders, the follow-up messages, whatever you want to term them, one of my most successful email series that I wrote, and I wouldn't recommend this to everybody or to anybody because it was hard, but you only had to do it once. and I'm still getting subscribers from it and still getting, engagement. Many years ago, I created a series of emails, and they had corresponding blog posts. I only really had to write the thing once, each one, because it was virtual, in essence, a copy of one was a copy of the other. But I created a series of 101 email tips, and I know there were dozens and dozens and dozens of people who went through the whole series. They didn't
That's
just
awesome.
stop at number 2 or 6 or 10. I've had people who said, that number 11 was pretty good, but number 97 was really cool. I mean, it's pretty awesome when it happens, but you write that once and you don't, and I mean, if you sent that out every day, one a day,
microphone still horrible.
Yeah,
oh,
and
okay,
I've
great.
seen great examples of people do like little mini challenges or like 30-day challenge, and they're signing up, and every day they're getting an email in their inbox with a very simple challenge, or maybe it's a 7-day course. So those things, there's a little bit more investment up front in terms of time, but that's going to pay off crazy.
Yep.
Makes sense.
No, it's good.
Better. Oh, now it's bad again.
Yeah. So one other thing that I wanted to mention is, you had said something about your blog, and we have this really cool feature called the blog broadcast.
Yep.
And if you write a blog, definitely try this because you can kind of set it and forget it. That every time, it like pulls right from your RSS feed. Every one blog or 3 blog or however many you want to set, it will automatically email your list when you publish.
Okay.
So say you want to set it to one blog post. So every time you publish,
right?
an email goes out. You don't have to do anything.
Okay, so
with the link, it drives it back to your blog. Or maybe you say like every 3 times I publish, send an email, and I'll send all 3
basically have to look at my nostrils, but there's a point to this.
That's a huge time saver too.
I'm a big webinar guy.
Publishing on your blog,
what I'm saying is,
you don't even have to write a separate email. It's going to be done for you. So check out the blog broadcast
show that we do
feature
next week.
Yeah,
I think that we should bring something to the table of like, okay, Jena has some cool bonus stuff. Let's the 3 of us talk about some stuff of like, here's a bonus that we can work on that if you buy through our link, it sort of sweetens the pot since we've been here for now an hour and 15 minutes. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's take the end of the webinar and be like, all right, let's turn the screws on ourselves. This is the bonus we're going to bring to the table. We haven't come up with it yet, but that's the magic of webinars. We'll have something by next week. And if it's just me, I will commit to something for next week. Like, hey, here's 150 emails that you can send automatically just because you're buying through our link, plus the cool stuff that Jena's giving. All right.
Yeah, no, we'll do that.
Now, Jena, I have to ask, because you mentioned something that brings us slightly off topic, but not entirely off topic, because we're in gig economics, and this is kind of what we do here. I heard you mention you have a side hustle. Did I hear that right? Tell us about it.
I do, yes. Well, you know what? I would say check me out on Instagram, and you guys can find that out for yourself. I'm here representing Aweber, so
yeah,
I don't want to get too off topic, but definitely find me on LinkedIn or Instagram, and we can connect outside of this.
Cool. Obviously, we think everybody should have one, even if you're happily, maybe even especially if you're happily employed, because it's a separation from the thing you have to do, versus the thing that makes you happy. And sometimes your job makes you happy. Often it does, but it's a different kind of happy.
Definitely.
So, all right. Any other questions?
Good. Let me.
All right. Well, Jena, I want to thank you for being here. You were really easy to work with, and we got this set up. And I told you we had a smallish audience because we were just starting out, but we know that's going to grow, and we really appreciate you taking the time to, I know what time it is where you are. It's after midnight. We really appreciate that. You're going to sleep well tonight, hopefully.
I will, yes.
But thank you.
I just want to say, it's not the size of your audience, it's how engaged they are. So, don't ever think that you're too small to start. Now is the time that you want to get your email in gear, get it all the kinks worked out, get started. It's never too soon. You want to do this as soon as possible.
I couldn't agree more. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Happy Friday. Bye, and we'll see you on the next show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.